I'm Queen Sylvie of the multiple award-winning The Queen Sylvie Show. You want to expand and get noticed? Then come outside your box and into our world. Internet advertising has a real impact on global awareness and even sales, so let's make an impact together. Offering for a limited time advertising and sponsorship packages that excel your purpose. So contact Queen Sylvie or Smooth Tim for the exciting opportunities that awaits. Yeah. The Frida's Cleaning Service is a small family-owned business established in 2003. With over 17 years of professional, high-quality, and greatly satisfied service, the Frida's Cleaning Service will get the job done. Specializing in sanitizing your home, business, post-construction, and commercial cleaning, no job's too big or small. See for yourself and give us a call, 567-249-9172. La Frida's Cleaning Service. Our reputation is always spotless.
It used to be hard for this family to run and play in their yard. That big pooch left its business all over. Dad would spend his time cleaning up puppy messes. Now, I make sure the yard is clean so they can play without worry. Yes, there really is a poop fairy.
Do you have questions about buying or selling a home, not sure if you qualify? Your local real estate agent, Antoinette Ware, is here for you. Do you live out of town, moving out of town, or looking for investment property? Well, let's work together and make it happen. Antoinette Ware can be reached at 419-917-6258. The name you know, celebrating over 20 years, serving Toledo and surrounding areas.
Are you tired of driving around a dirty car? Say hello to the ultimate solution for your car. Quick Auto Detail, home, work, or wherever. Their mobile car spa will clean and shine your car anytime and anywhere. Their products are gentle on your car's paint, and they use only the highest quality materials. Book your appointment now.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Alrighty. Hey, welcome to another Tim's Tid-Bits, and I appreciate you stopping in and spending another hump day with me and enjoying your Wednesday. July 17th, as a matter of fact. Can you believe that we're almost through the month of July? We passed the equinox the other day, so our days are starting to get shorter again. And wow, hey, we'll be bumping into fall real quick, but while we're at it, let's just enjoy the summer that is giving us. It hasn't been too bad. A little bit of heat everywhere, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the show. And some severe weather striking here and there. And there's still all kinds of things going around, chaos around the world. But hey, as always, heart and prayers going out to everybody there that's suffering from one thing and or the other. It's always something out there in this world, isn't it? And anyhow, what else is going on? Oh, yeah, geez. Monday, the RNC kicked off in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And, the city that Trump didn't like. And anyhow, hey, let's just dive right into the show just to get things going and see what the heck happened the first day of the RNC convention.
Welcome to the Trump 2024 convention, brought to you by Project 2025. This week in the horrible city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you'll see the best of the Trump Project 2025 party. It's a bold vision for a bright future. With Trump Project 2025, you'll love how new tariffs will make everything more expensive and set off runaway inflation. We know you'll appreciate paying for the big tax cut our struggling billionaires need. When you seniors are done freeloading, check out Project 2025's plan to end Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So get out of that nursing home bed and get back to work. And ladies, this convention has so much in store for you. With Project 2025, you'll learn how good you'll have it in the kitchen. Girls, if your marriage isn't working out, you'll need Project 2025's helpful tips to keep the romance alive, even if he's abusive, because we're getting rid of divorce. And if Mr. Wrong gets you pregnant, welcome to motherhood, because we've ended Roe v. Wade and we're going to criminalize birth control. And minorities, well, you didn't need those silly voting rights anyway. For you Jews, Muslims, Mormons, and other fake religions, you'll get a head start on learning America is a Christian nation. Project 2025 is Donald Trump's plan for your future, and it couldn't be any brighter.
Project 2025 Bright Future Guarantee applies to white evangelical Christian men only. Other conditions may apply. Offer not valid in a functioning republic.
Oh, okay. So that makes everything kind of into perspective, what's going on. Yeah, we talked about the Project 2025 before, previously on some shows, and now just about the whole entire organization, rather, is made up of, ex-Trump cabinet members and probably going to be current cabinet members, should he get elected again, coming up here in November. We'll see. But anyhow, there's still all kinds of things, and we'll move through this quickly. Still things going on, and, obviously, there was an assassination attempt on the former President Trump. You hate to see anything like that happen. Violence is not the answer to absolutely anything. Violence begets violence. That's all that's going to happen out of that. So in any regards, shortly after that, and he got back to his headquarters, wherever that may be now, either in New York and or Mar-a-Lago, he made a call to JFK Jr., the independent that's also running for president. In any regard, somehow, some way, check this out, the conversation between JFK Jr. and Donald Trump got recorded.
Breaking, a video has just been leaked of former President Donald Trump talking to RFK Jr. about the assassination attempt. This is a recent conversation. He also mentioned what he had talked about with President Joe Biden when Biden called Trump to check in on him after the attempted assassination. Let's listen to some of that.
I agree with you, man. Something's wrong with that whole system. And, it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that is like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do something. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me. And he said, how did you choose to move to the right? So I guess that's, people say, if I was looking straight up, right? He said, I said, I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country, right? But I just turned my head to show the chart. And something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going right. You know, it was, what did they call that, an AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right?
RFK Jr. has since apologized to Trump for that segment of their call being leaked. He writes on X, "When President Trump called me, I was taping with an in-house videographer. I should have ordered the videographer to stop recording immediately. I am mortified that this was posted. I apologize to the president."
RFK Jr.'s son Bobby Kennedy had shared the leaked video and tweeted, quote, "I'm a firm believer that these sorts of conversations should be had in public. Here's Trump giving his real opinion to my dad about vaccinating kids." This was the day after the assassination attempt. He deleted that tweet soon after and then tweeted, quote, "Removed last one for mistaking sarcasm for real life."
Sarcasm for real life, yeah. So now, and there may be even many people with that opinion. So Trump now again kind of revealed his colors that he's definitely anti-vax, and probably take that part away, along with some other health care that's, they want to take away Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, everything else. Good luck as you get older. I hope you have a good 401 or something going on, for God's sakes. Anyhow, not just necessarily Donald's behavior or, lack thereof good behavior. You have Joe that seems to be sometimes just like lost out there and who knows where, and can be carrying on a conversation. I've been nicknamed him Jabberwocky Joe. What are you talking about? This. So the question I guess I'm propounding, and I guess if I would get some responses to the viewers, and is it time for Joe to step out and let another younger Democrat step up to the plate and run against Trump? And, what are we going to do, as a nation, with, those are our two choices. So, hey, check it out. Let me know what you're thinking. Should he really step out of the way?
And now with Republicans in the spotlight here in Milwaukee, President Biden is on the campaign trail in Las Vegas, reaching out to Black and Latino voters, first by delivering remarks at the National Convention for the NAACP, where he praised his vice president.
And by the way, she's not only a great vice president, she could be president of the United States.
Earlier, the president sat down with journalist Ed Gordon for an interview with BET News. Gordon asked the president if there is anything, including family members, that would make him reevaluate staying in the race.
If there had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem. But I made a serious mistake in the whole debate. And look, when I originally ran, you may remember it, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate. And I thought that I'd be able to move from this, just pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided. And quite frankly, I think the only thing age brings a little bit of wisdom. And I think I've demonstrated that I know how to get things done for the country, in spite of the fact that we were told we couldn't get it done. But there's more to do, and I'm reluctant to walk away from that.
Let me ask you about reproductive rights. You've had your vice president out front on that. Talking about the long game, people will say that there's an example of Democrats not playing the long game well, that conservatives have been saying they're going to get rid of this for years now, and they got it. You've said that you will restore it. How can you be assured that you'll be able to do that?
The Supreme Court did it. Trump appointed the Supreme Court with the express purpose of doing it. So that's the way it works.
They're still going to have the majority, no matter if you win or lose.
Well, there's going to probably be 2 more appointments to the court. There's probably 2 people going to retire. Just imagine if he has 2 more appointments on that, what that means forever.
Yeah, what does that mean, forever? So yeah, what would he have? 4 or 5 justices that he appointed on the Supreme Court? Oh my goodness! And then that almost aligns with what we had a while back ago, 2025. Project 2025's agenda. Get online, take a look at it. I mean, hey, I'm not going to tell you anything that you just can't read online. I mean, their entire agenda and documentation of how they want the government to run is up there for you to check it out. But in any regard, there's some people that are discouraged as it gets, and you can't blame them. They don't want, Donald back in office. Obviously, Joe is possibly getting too old and is too old. Should he step aside? I mean, you look at Trump, he's got this young guy, J.D. Vance, now out of Ohio, senator out of Ohio. I mean, a freshman senator. So, I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of experience, very wet behind the ears. So we'll see how that would work out should anything happen to Trump and this guy transition into the president's position. And I think very much lacks experience in that. But, hey, it's up to the voters again. But yeah, maybe Joe should step aside. And in any regards, some people are expressing that opinion about, hey, what's my choice there? Check it out.
Controversy in Lakeland leads to a First Amendment lawsuit ending with the city coughing up some serious cash after trying to force a woman to take down this sign that she claims is simply expressing her political views. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. The legal battle escalated to a federal court, which declared the reprimand unconstitutional. WRG's Bryant Didlake spoke with a woman behind this lawsuit and has her story.
I'm just trying to exercise my First Amendment rights. It's a political year. A lot of people are not super happy with the candidates, and we can express those in, whatever way we see fit.
And she did. Julie Pereira tells me she put out this sign, F them both, 2024, back in January, referring to the November presidential election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
Within a couple of days, I had a notification from the city that my political sign with some vulgarity or some profanity on it was in violation of the City of Lakeland's sign ordinance.
That 45-page ordinance prohibits signs with statements of an obscene, indecent, or immoral character which would offend public morals or decency. Pereira at first compromised with the city by redacting a letter in the profane part of the sign, but after arguing back and forth, that's when the legal battle started.
The city decided they didn't want to settle.
She wanted the city to withdraw the fine and refund the fees, plus she wants to keep the sign in the yard unredacted. The city said no, so they went to court, where a judge declared the speech wasn't protected.
He also basically threatened me with jail time if I came back into his court for a sign violation.
Because they've seen this before, like when Pereira put up this sign last Christmas saying the blank is full. But this time Pereira wasn't backing down, so she appealed and won. The court saying Lakeland was violating Pereira's right to free speech, ordering the city to stand down and pay up more than $30,000 for her trouble. Pereira tells me besides some comments from neighbors and the community at large, there wasn't much tension during her litigation battle with the city, despite her neighborhood being across the street from City Hall. Pereira tells me she did this battle not only for herself, but for anyone who wished to express their views.
That's right. For you, for me, all of us. That's ridiculous. I mean, in your own yard, that is your First Amendment right to, as long as it didn't have graphic images. That's a different story. But, hey, that's freedom of speech, folks. You might not always agree with what they say, and there's a lot of that around. But, they have the right to express their viewpoints in a peaceful way. That's not going to harm anybody else. I don't think that sign out there was harming anybody. What is harming me, though, this is getting ridiculous, is the hit to your wallet when you're going through the drive-through. It's almost like drive-through robbery, drive-through holdup. You can't get through there for $20, $30. And you better have a good credit card or debit card, because how are you going to pay for all of it? It's actually crazy now.
Well, McDonald's might soon have a new value option because customers have been upset over rising food prices.
Some say they might as well go to a sit-down restaurant because it's basically the same price as fast food. Good Morning Northwest anchor Robin Nance has the backlash.
Fast food fans are reacting to word that McDonald's is planning to add a $5 value meal to its menu as it responds to a drop in sales. Inflation taking a toll, the chain getting grilled by customers amid reports of a Big Mac value meal approaching $18 in part of the country.
A big share of McDonald's clients are low-income consumers. And so those people, low-income consumers, are really feeling the pinch right now. And maybe they are not necessarily eating at restaurants. Maybe they're just eating at home.
The Golden Arch is now looking to better compete with Wendy's $5 Biggie Meal and Burger King's 2 for $5 option. Fast food prices in March were 33% higher than in 2019, and labor costs are surging.
I see McDonald's a lot on the job sites. It's quick and easy and cheap, but not really anymore. It's not that cheap anymore. So I'm not really saving the money I thought I would by going to McDonald's or any sort of fast food.
Casual restaurant chains like Red Lobster also seeing red, now considering bankruptcy. While Applebee's and Chili's offer bargain burgers and other discounts, even small-town kitchens are feeling the heat. Des Moines, Iowa, seeing several restaurants close their doors, citing higher costs, as well as COVID-era loans coming due. As for those fast food fanatics, they have this simple message.
I'm a fast food girl through and through, but please lower your prices. So you can't go up any further. You can't.
Sure they can. Oh, yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yeah, that is ridiculous, and they blame it on what, the minimum wage going up. And now they're talking about, well, here in Ohio, they're talking about putting it on the ballot so it is $15 an hour minimum wage. And it doesn't matter if you're tipped, non-tipped, whatever, it'd be straight across the board. So what is that going to do to, your fast food? You're not going to get those value meals anymore, folks. It's just the price of labor is hitting everybody where it hurts. And speaking of the price of labor hurting everybody, have you noticed, and they mentioned it in that video, like Red Lobster, closing shops, going to go bankrupt. Target has closed 9 of their major stores. Stop and Shop has closed 32 of their major stores. Big Lots has closed over 40 of their major stores. So, all labor problems, economic issues, check it out.
Major retail chains like Macy's and CVS are being forced to close thousands of their brick-and-mortar stores across the country.
Kelly O'Grady is giving us a closer look at what may be the cause.
This is not a small matter. This is going to change communities.
Well, over 3,400 retail stores are closing this year. That is a 22% increase compared to last year at this time. And Hollywood's iconic Arby's is closing after 55 years. The owners say in part thanks to California's $20 minimum wage law, while others are citing inflation as the cause.
Drugstores are not going to be there anymore. Restaurants are not going to be there anymore. So this is consequential, not only financially and from a real estate standpoint, but it's consequential in quality of life, availability of services.
Now, the top closures include Family Dollar at over 600 stores, followed by Route 21, 99-cents only stores, CVS, 7-Eleven, and more.
Retail demand itself, it was flat this past month. Consumer sentiment, it's at a 7-month low right now. Inflation is having a big impact on consumers' purchases.
There are a number of reasons driving these shutdowns. Poor strategy for one. Companies are also carrying a lot of debt. They're dealing with theft and the continuing rise of online shopping. And think about your own habits. Are you even going into a store anymore? Now, the former U.S. CEO of Toys R Us, though, says the biggest issue is the sales to cost ratio is out of whack.
Retailers have to generate same-store sales increases of 3 to 4% a year to be healthy. And if they don't do that, they can't pay the wage increases for their people, rent increases, cost of living, cost of doing business goes up by 3 or 4% a year.
Overall, retail sales only grew 2.3% over the last year, and inflation sits at 3.3%. So sales aren't keeping up with inflation, meaning consumers aren't buying as much.
So it's all your fault. You're not going in there and spending all your money helping these stores out because you're broke too. It's a vicious circle, and I can't believe, what was that number? I had to write that down. 3,400 stores expected to close, and I find that it's probably going to be interesting is the actual areas of the city and or the country where these stores close. And you already have some communities in the lower income areas that's a food desert, a restaurant desert. They may have a corner store carry out or something going on, but other than that, they're driving 20 minutes to the wealthier side of town, shall we say, who were lucky or fortunate enough or had enough influence, rather, to retain those type of restaurants, retailers, drugstores, all this. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. What's the future going to hold? And do they want to blame it on wages? Do they want to blame it on inflation? Do they want to blame it on online shopping? So, hey. We'll see. Everything has a twist anymore. And speaking of having a twist, if you are a Hyundai or a Kia owner, when it comes time to renew the insurance for your vehicle, you may find it a bit difficult depending upon who your carrier is. That's right. Apparently, because it's so vulnerable, those two vehicles are so vulnerable to theft. A lot of insurance companies say, we're not going to renew your policy. Check it out.
Well, people who drive a common car on the streets of Nashville are having a hard time getting insurance after nationwide warnings that it can be easily stolen.
Our WSMV's Lydia Fielder talked to a woman who had to sell her car just so she could afford it.
For some people, a car is part of their identity. For Lisa, that car was her green Kia.
It was a 2016 Grinch-colored Kia Soul, and I had a little Grinch sticker on the back.
It was the car that safely carried Lisa and her dogs in their move from Florida to Paris, Tennessee.
They were good cars. Nothing went wrong with it ever.
Once in Tennessee, she found out her Kia also carried a big problem: insurance. Her insurance company doubled her rate and then canceled the policy altogether because the make and model was a common target for thieves.
I work from home. I hardly drive. I'm a good driver. I had no claims.
None of that mattered. Lisa spent hours shopping insurance quotes.
It was unreal. I don't have time for this.
She says she tried every company, from mainstream to obscure. No one would cover her Kia in Tennessee, or if they did, the rate was unaffordable.
They offered no solutions at all.
Lisa was forced to trade in her beloved Kia at a local dealership.
I didn't know what to do. That's why I went to the dealer.
So we checked and learned major insurance companies in Tennessee are dropping coverage on many Kias and Hyundais because of the theft problem, made especially popular by a trend on TikTok.
I'll be aware of this new Kia and Hyundai break-in challenge.
We reached out to Metro Police. They say in October 2023, there was a 410% increase in thefts of these two makes. But since January 2024, police data shows the number of thefts have actually been going down, leaving people like Lisa feeling unfairly punished by insurance companies.
People driving their Kias, just happy, did nothing wrong. It's someone else being weird, and we have to pay for it.
Kia and Hyundai have offered drivers of affected models a free software upgrade, which we found some insurance companies will accept. But Lisa, overwhelmed and anxious, says she had no idea that was even an option. Lisa would have had her Kia Soul paid off in October. Now she's facing 5 more years of car payments on this trade-in Chevy Equinox.
So, now you know. That's another show. That's tomorrow night. But in any regard, so now you know. Yeah, if you have a Kia or if you got a Hyundai, and you may want to contact your dealer and make sure you get that security upgrade or certificate or whatever the hell they may give you, so that if your insurance company tries to, play out like that or doubling your insurance, just show them, hey, I'm sorry, but I've got the security upgrade and my vehicle is no longer vulnerable to that type of theft. So you can reduce my costs back to where it should be instead of sticking it up by hindsight. Anyhow, hey, speaking of getting hit in the wallet, that's what I meant by that, folks, is climate change is doing so much damage amongst the hurricanes, amongst the tornadoes, amongst the forest fires, floods from rivers, this and that. It is costing people a fortune. As a matter of fact, it's costing the taxpayers a fortune also.
Should we get away from the windows? Tornado outbreaks hitting states like Florida and Nebraska this spring.
We looked over to the northwest and the whole neighborhood's gone.
Wildfires in California and New Mexico. And now, an early season tropical storm, bringing heavy rain to Mexico and Texas.
And rain poured in practically all night.
Intense weather around the country wreaking financial havoc. Already costing more than $25 billion this year through mid-May, NOAA says. Not even halfway through the year, the data from the weather agency shows the country might be on track to match or even pass the cost of 28 individual billion-dollar weather disasters last year, with the most expensive season still to come. Insurance prices spiking, faster than inflation overall in the last few years, soaring an estimated 20% from 2021 to 2023 due to climate catastrophes. And in fire and flood-prone areas like California, Louisiana, and Florida, some insurers are even pulling out, leaving homeowners with limited and costly options. Yeah, this is the time of year as we head to the late summer that keeps the insurance companies up at night, Hallie. Let me just show you the list of the top 5 all-time weather climate disasters we've ever had in this country, and we adjusted these numbers for inflation. And when you look at it, these are all hurricanes. And look at this year, we have $25 billion. We've had 11 different disasters, $25 billion. But look at what these huge hurricanes do. They completely rewrite the books for the insurance companies. This is what going into the peak of hurricane season, August, September, October, they pray that we are going to avoid these type of numbers from any storms. And it can easily happen. Our oceans are, and all the water surrounding our country is extremely warm. We have more population at the coast, and we're growing more than ever. There's more to hit. And we haven't had a big, huge city, you know, like a Miami or a Tampa hit in forever. And if any huge storm happens to hit those areas, it would easily make that list.
Wow. Anyhow, man, there you go. Just like good luck, getting insurance on your Hyundai or Kia if you haven't got the security update. Make sure you do that if you own one. Hey, if you live in the area that's prone to hurricanes, floods, maybe you live out in the Oklahoma area, you know, you're prone to tornadoes and that type of, disaster event out west, you know, with the forest fires, my God. And, the insurance companies are not going to take a loss. They don't care how long and how much you've been paying into them. They don't like paying out. Anyhow, hey, let's move on. I found this really interesting. As, you know, for those of us who like to go to a health club occasionally to try to keep ourselves in shape, you would think that, they would have people taking really, really, really good care of you, and that you would have some attention, individual attention, hopefully, depending upon how much you're paying to become a member of the club. But in any regard, in Las Vegas, there was a health club incident, let's call it. And you got to check this out.
At 8:30 a.m. on February 4th at the North Decatur Las Vegas Athletic Club, 58-year-old Letitia Triplett went to exercise in the gym's pool. Triplett, seen here, entered the pool and began exercising, kicking her legs while gripping the side of the pool wall. It's after 25 minutes of exercise, her legs stop kicking, and we see Triplett gripping the side of the pool, moving towards the stairs. For a few minutes, Triplett attempts to pull herself out of the pool using the handrails. During this point, other members walk by her, going down the stairs. Triplett fighting for her life, no one seeming to notice. Shortly after, Triplett appears to kick herself away from the stairs, where she drowns. For 10 minutes, Triplet appeared motionless in the pool. According to the LVAC, she was floating on her back. During this 10-minute period, other members swimming and even walking right by her. After a sum total of 20 minutes of no one noticing a struggle or lack of movement, it's when this member jumps in. Then more members gathering to pull Triplet out. According to the Health District report, it's after a minute that an LVAC employee is seen on camera. Paramedics arriving shortly thereafter. LVAC said they have employees monitoring video feeds like this one to spot members in distress. However, video which showed if an employee was watching this feed was deleted. Now, according to the coroner's report, Triplet did suffer from obesity and hyperintensive cardiovascular disease, but her cause of death was ruled an accidental drowning.
But the video for that evening was accidentally deleted. I'm sorry, I don't know how that happened. You can subpoena me all you would like, but the evidence is gone that we were negligent. So that should be interesting. I mean, my goodness. And all those people walking past, that one dude like walked past her twice. He's got his nose in his phone. That's part of the problem with today's society. People walking down, they ain't looking at jack shit, you know. They're too busy, looking at, who's posting what on social media sites. It's crazy. Anyhow, so that Las Vegas Athletic Club, avoid that place. Let's get into another part of the show that I enjoy, and that is, dude, what the fuck? So anyhow, hey, you're going to really, really appreciate this. I found it totally amazing.
The idea of creating an invisibility cloak is rooted in science fiction, but Chinese scientists were able to make it a reality. The first steps towards this achievement were developments in the field of metamaterials, special artificial structures capable of controlling light and other waves of the electromagnetic spectrum. In 2006, information first appeared about the possibility of creating materials that can bend light around an object, making it invisible. The secret of the invisibility cloak is the use of metamaterials. These materials have a unique structure that allows them to change the direction of light. Instead of reflecting light like regular materials, metamaterials can bend it around an object. This creates an effect where the object becomes invisible to the observer. So researchers from Wuhan University in China presented a unique invention, Invis.Defense, reminiscent of an invisibility cloak. The development provides the effect of invisibility using a special biconvex mesh. It is based on a series of small convex cylindrical lenses designed to refract light regularly, creating the effect of invisibility. The Invis.Defense invisibility cloak, a completely new defense product, can be invisible to machine vision and therefore be used to protect privacy and security, the researchers said. Invis.Defense can be classified as a metamaterial because it changes the perception of the human eye by distorting its field of view. Researchers claim that this cloak can provide invisibility in any weather and time of day. Invisibility cloaks are used in a variety of areas. For example, they can be used in architecture to create buildings that literally blend into their surroundings. In medicine, such materials can be used to create invisible surgical instruments, which makes operations easier. However, the most promising application of invisibility cloaks is the military sphere. Imagine soldiers who become invisible on the battlefield, or military equipment that cannot be detected from the air. China is actively developing this technology for defense use. This can significantly increase the secrecy and security of military operations. One of the most obvious applications is personal camouflage. Invisibility cloaks can be used to create virtually invisible uniforms for soldiers. This makes it possible to hide military personnel from visual detection by the enemy, which is especially useful for snipers, reconnaissance officers, and special forces. Using invisibility cloaks, scouts can conduct surveillance of the enemy without being noticed. Snipers wearing invisible cloaks can be in exposed positions while remaining invisible to the enemy. Special forces can penetrate enemy targets and carry out missions with minimal risk of detection. Another significant area of application is the camouflage of military equipment. These materials can be used to coat tanks, armored personnel carriers, aircraft, and ships, making them invisible to radar and visual observation. Researchers from Zhejiang University in China have demonstrated an intelligent invisibility cloak, a metacoating that intelligently controls the reflection and dispersion of radiation.
That's like some Predator shit. Remember how he gets himself invisible and shit, and activates invisibility, and you have somebody just stand freaking next to you. That's just insane. So they're gonna use that technology, obviously, in the military front. That makes perfect sense. But to think, that dude just put the blanket over top of him there, and him and his kid disappeared. Yeah, that one whole tripped me out. I thought I had to share that with you. Anyhow, another one. Hey, let's get back to it. Excuse me, folks. But another what the fuck moment. We know that we've seen that our president was almost assassinated a few days ago, and leave it to him to try to profiteer from it.
Let me show you what Donald Trump is doing this morning, because you're not going to see this on any other media. Donald Trump posted the following. This is the meme that he posted. Trump versus bullet. Biden versus stairs. This is what Donald Trump just posted moments ago. Okay, so much for the unity narrative that the media is trying to propagate for him as part of their propaganda. What else has Donald Trump posted this morning? Well, he is now selling $299 assassination attempt edition sneakers. No, folks, I'm not making this up. You know how Donald Trump previously sold those fake weird gold sneakers, and he went to the Philadelphia shoe convention, and then all the corporate media was saying, wow, this is going to do really well with black voters. He's selling sneakers. You remember that? I'm not making this up. He's selling $299 assassination attempt edition sneakers. He's profiting off of it. And he posted that before he called the widow of the Trump supporter who died at the rally. Remember, President Biden called the individual who died at the rally who was killed right away, but the widow wouldn't pick up the phone call because she was a Trump supporter, and she thought her husband would never want her to pick up a phone and speak to President Biden. Well, Donald Trump called RFK Jr. Donald Trump did all these other things, including post about this sneaker that he's selling, but didn't call the widow. Just take a look at what this even is. This is horrifying and weird and grifty and strange and so un-American. And the fact that you won't see this anywhere other than on the Midas Touch Network tells you what a failure our corporate media is. Shame on them. We know what a grifter Donald Trump is, but shame on them for not reporting on things like this. Look at this. You go to the Trump Sneakers website. Here's the new sneaker that they're selling. It says, fight, 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 only 5,000, and each pair is numbered. Strictly limit of 3 pairs per customer. Introducing the Fight, Fight, Fight high tops. On July 13th, 2024, an assassination attempt was made on Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Despite the attack, Trump stood tall and resilient, leading the crowd with a powerful chant, fight, fight, fight. That is what they're saying when they're selling these.
Right. So there you go. Your opportunity to get your new pair of sneakers. And wait until September, October. They didn't say what year. But wait till September, October to get your your assassination sneakers. Like I said, the guy tried to make money off anything. Besides, maybe the Bible sales weren't going so well. I don't know. Whatever was going on. Whew. Anyhow, hey, let's get to another one of my favorite parts, and you know what that is. That is the asshole of the week. And I actually have 2 candidates for asshole of the week. Yes, I do, folks. I have 2 candidates for asshole of the week. And the first is a woman who is obviously upset about something, but she was relaxing while she was upset. Check it out.
She looks like she's relaxing in a lawn chair with a good book, but authorities say she actually just torched her own home, then sat in the chair to watch it go up in flames. The shocking video starts with the woman having an argument on her front porch.
Oh my God, he just threw water at her.
Then another argument with another resident. Next thing you know, the house they all live in is on fire. And there's the accused arsonist relaxing in the lawn chair.
She's sitting there just chilling, watching the house go up in flames.
The fire quickly consumes the house in Elkton, Maryland.
Get out of the house! It's on fire!
A bystander runs to help a resident as she climbs out a window.
Hurry!
Fire crews rush to the scene.
That whole roof just fell.
Avery Hammond shot the video.
I couldn't believe that she was just sitting there like it wasn't happening.
She casually went out there, sat in a chair, stated a few obscenities, and watched the fire spread throughout the house.
Yeah, this obviously that woman had a screw loose. Something was definitely wrong with her to sit there and just chill out and watch everybody inside burn. Didn't say shit. Obviously, those people were crawling out trying to save their lives. Insane. See how she gets charged. There could be numerous charges on her. Anyhow, and let's move on to Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis, ex-football player, ex-NFL, NFL player. He encountered a incident while he was on board a jet. And, I guess in a disagreement with the attendant, whatever happened, but he wasn't treated with the respect that we really should expect.
Terrell Davis, touchdown, standing up. This morning, NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Davis demanding an investigation after he says he was unjustly handcuffed and removed from a United Airlines flight. The Broncos legend was traveling from Denver to Orange County, California, when he says, "My son politely requested a cup of ice. The flight attendant either didn't hear or ignored his request and continued past our row. I calmly reached behind me and lightly tapped his arm to get his attention. He shouted, 'Don't hit me,' and left." Davis says he didn't see the flight attendant for the rest of the flight, but when the plane landed, 6 FBI and law enforcement agents boarded the plane, handcuffed him, and removed him. Davis says he was humiliated, adding that questioning him, the agents determined the flight attendant was inaccurate in his accusations, and the agents profusely apologized. United says it removed the flight attendant from duty while it reviews the incident, saying this is clearly not the kind of travel experience we strive to provide.
We're the only ones getting taken off the plane. Look at us.
In recent years, we've seen a number of high-profile incidents involving black airline passengers. Earlier this year, 8 black men were removed from an American Airlines flight after a white flight attendant complained they had body odor. 3 of those men told CBS they were suing for discrimination.
We were discriminated against. The entire situation was racist.
Yeah, think. Obviously, that is just totally ridiculous, and then after they investigate, saying, well, maybe the flight attendant, sounded like it was a dude flight attendant, may have, embellished the story a bit and, said that, that's just ridiculous. And, there's still a lot of hate in this country, and who knows, what the motivation of this individual was to take it to that extreme. That's crazy. Anyhow, hey, that wraps it up for the night, and I am so out of here. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I thank you so much for dropping by and spending time with me, and get out of here with a little video. Until next week, man. Bye.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right, it was a quality joke.
Well,
Babe, it's just a joke, chill.
William.
Babe, it's just a...
Tupac wouldn't let anybody talk to me like that, William. So you better go deal with it right now, or you'll know what I'll do. You little cuck.
Uh-oh. Oh! Come on, man. It was a G.I. Jane joke, dude. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. I'm going to, okay? Well, your wife's name out of my mouth. You happy now?